Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mission Impact. My name is Tracy Allen. I'm the owner of TVA Consulting Group, where I help social impact businesses to design, build, and fund their ventures so that they can live the lifestyles that they desire while impacting their communities.
Design, build, and fund.
Yes.
The first three letters is F-U-N. It ain't all.
I know, right?
My name is Ty Boone. I am owner of Ty Boone Enterprises. I work mostly with nonprofit organizations, helping them to move from startup and struggle to sustainability and success. And we're talking about year-end giving around here, right? Because we're wrapping up the year.
Yes, we are. We are in November. So yes, we're practically done with the year because you and I were just talking about we're taking off the whole week of Thanksgiving. So that's minus 1 week. Then we're taking off the last 2 weeks of December. That's 3 weeks done. So at this point, we probably only have 4 weeks left in the year.
The year is over, right? Which kind of, is a very important topic to talk about year-end giving because, organizations have their fiscal years and their cutoffs, but as a society, we look at things in calendar year terms, right? A lot of times we'll get into these organizations and we'll like year after year after year go by and we have no idea where we're standing as an organization.
True.
We don't know how much money we've got. We don't know where the holes are. We don't know what we're missing, what we're lacking. We don't know how much support we gained. We don't know what the problems were. Last week I talked about in another session. I talked about energy and effort going into the next year, right? And I said, if you're going to have the same energy and effort next year that you have this year, you're probably going to get the same amount of money. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about your end of year goals and how much do you need, and what's happening in the calendar, how are you measuring your financial success with your organization? How much are you missing? First of all, why are you missing this?
That's the big question, right? Why are you missing it? Yes.
Not put forth the energy and effort that you plan to put forth at the beginning of the year. And if you didn't, you supposed to do that next year. If not, you're gonna be in the same situation, right? If you have a huge deficit, if your goal was to raise, $100,000 by the end of calendar year 2023, and you're at 10,000, you're missing $90,000. That's a whole lot of money. If you anticipate on getting folks to donate to you or to contribute to your organization's, $90,000 in 4 weeks or less, what kind of energy are you going to put forth in the next 4 weeks that you didn't put forth in the past 12, 11 months?
Right.
So you might have to scale back a little bit.
And that takes me to my point. What I wanted to talk about is that I find that a lot of organizations leave the majority of their fundraising efforts to be done during this time of the year. So they're banking heavily on Giving Tuesday and year-end fundraising, which goes right now to December 31st, right? For most people. They're trying to utilize that for the bulk of their fundraising goals because they know this is giving season and they know that people are a lot more free or freely giving of their money during this season for a variety of different reasons, right? Whether it's tax breaks or they want to feel like they ended the year on a good note and that they were instrumental in helping someone else in society. It could be any of those things, right? But this is the time of year that a lot of people give. But like Ty said, if you have a $90,000 goal that should have been met throughout the year and it's still at $90,000 and we are in giving season, what are you going to do differently in these last 2 months that you haven't done all year? Right? So you have to think about that. Yes, you should have a giving season goal. You should have a year-end fundraising goal, but it has to be comparable to what you've done all year. So when you're sitting down, and we're going to talk about how you plan for next year too, but when you were sitting down last year planning for this year, your goals should have been broken up in quarters. And if you weren't meeting your quarterly goals, at least, how do you intend now to take all 3 quarters and drop it into Q4? It just doesn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are generous, but I mean, they're not that generous. Unless you have some
They
big
don't like
corporation who didn't give anything all year to any charities, and they're just like, oh, we need to get rid of this $90,000. That's the only way you're gonna get that big donation, because you didn't put any effort in before. And it goes back to what we talked about when we talked about Giving Tuesday, right? It's planning and preparing for that giving. Because again, you do not want to treat people like ATM machines, right? So you should always be out there championing your organization, campaigning on a regular basis, even if you don't have a hard ask at the end of your campaign. The fact is, they know you're a charity. They know that's what charities need is money. But if you're putting it out there and they're connecting with the story that's your organization is telling, they're connecting with the people that you're helping. They can see that you're actually helping people, because that's a big thing too, right? A lot of times when a lot of these charities are not getting funds, especially from individual donors, is because these individual donors cannot see the work that they're doing. And when they can't see the work, it's because you don't have it displayed on your website and you're not doing anything on social media. We literally just talked about
the fact that
right? A lot of our clients,
right? We can't. And you said, Tracy, you like, even if you have a $90,000 goal that you still have to reach, and there's this amazing philanthropist that comes on and say, I just want to give somebody $90,000. What makes this person want to give it to you?
Right.
That stuff that you're talking about now. I can see that you're doing the work. You're visible. I can go visit your social media sites, and I can see that there is some momentum happening with your organization. And you sit there and you're halfway, engaging with your audience on social media, where you posted last December, and we don't see you again until Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because that's what your organization is about, and then we don't see you again until end of year giving. That's not consistency,
right? And then I think one of the things that people in leadership roles in the organization, so like the ED, right, tends to forget when looking to fundraise either for Giving Tuesday or year-end giving, is to deploy their board of directors. Okay, that's a huge thing. People tend to sleep on it. And the reason that we're not going to get all the way into it today, but I just want to leave this as a caveat. The reason that they don't deploy the board of directors is because they never train their board of directors how to fundraise.
No commission half the time. It's like, what are we doing? What is this organization for? I tell people, your board is your first line of defense, right? Your board is supposed to drive the car. You're kind of like, you're just hanging out, kind of the passengers in this ride. Your board is supposed to be leading you on. Even when I see fundraisers and things on social media, I cringe a lot of times, because they'll sit there at $0 or $2 or whatever. And I'm like, is there not a board? Can somebody make this campaign look better than this? Can somebody give?
Well, see, that's because, it's like you hire someone, but you never gave them the job description, right? They didn't understand the true job description. Or you didn't have other duties, right? Reasonable duties.
And other duties at the time. Right?
You didn't have that in that contract.
They got you doing everything.
Right.
Especially a nonprofit.
Exactly, right? But you didn't have that in there. So then now, why do they feel they never had that mentality that they were part or the key man in the fundraising component of your organization? So they see you putting up all these fundraisers, they're not going to engage with it, because a lot of times, and I know people hate to hear this, a lot of times people come onto boards to bolster their resumes, that's their social standing. That's a lot of times what happens. It's not about the organization itself. It's not about the impact that they can create. It's not about helping the community. It is simply to make themselves look good when they're applying for jobs or just in their social circle.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. One of the first boards I sat on, I went for the food, because
you told me that.
I love Italian, right? So and they would have
Oh
like the best like board meetings. They would always cater in like my favorite Italian place, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I'm just gonna sit here like I
my
wasn't
God.
engaged or anything. I'm just like,
Mhm.
look, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, seriously though, that's what happens a lot of times, and that's why, like you said, you'll see a social media campaign that is geared towards a particular fundraiser, and it's at zero, and it's been up there for 3, 4, 5 days.
Mhm.
And you're like, where's the board? The board's not supporting it. First of all, they probably don't even know it's up there because they don't
Right,
follow the page. And then they don't realize that they're supposed to be giving. So that's
right.
why board development is essential. You
Yeah.
should not have an organization where you're not having some type of PD for your board at least twice a year.
And if you're not supported internally, you can't expect for people external to your organization to support you. And this is why
Exactly.
we see fundraisers or end of year giving campaigns flop.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because people are watching. Like people
They
will watch
are.
before they give to you. They'll watch it. They'll
Yes.
look and they'll see,
You
oh,
know how long I will watch an organization
mhm,
or even a coach or whoever, sometimes for a year before I
mhm,
spend
before you
one
yeah. You're
dollar.
like, okay, now it's time. Now I feel a little
Yeah.
bit safe, and you said, the no like and trust factor. Even when
Mhm.
you're on social media, I don't have to know you personally, but
Mhm.
if you are engaging enough, if I follow you long enough, I feel like I know
I
you.
know, right.
Like I
Mhm.
may not know anything, really anything about the true you, but I
Mhm.
feel like it because you're in my face enough
Mhm.
that I can build even if you don't have a clue who I am. I follow folk right now on social media who haven't a clue who I am, but I feel like they're my best friend
Yeah.
because I know them. If something happened to them right now, I'm devastated.
Mhm.
Okay, but they
Mhm.
don't know me from a can of paint.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, and that's how your organization should be. You should be just that visible, so that when end of year giving comes, you're not acting like that you're just there for the money.
Right.
And then
And
if they do
outside,
support you at the end of the year, you have to continue the relationship.
right. And like I was saying, it's not just a relationship with the audience who you want to give you money. It's developing your board and your volunteers as well, the staff.
Mhm,
Everybody needs to understand how to get to this money.
mhm,
Everybody. So
mhm,
they need that professional development. When you're
mhm,
planning your budget, and I might leave that for the next, but remind me to talk about it when we talk about planning for the following year. As
mhm,
part of your budget, you need to have professional development in there. You
mhm,
need to have monies in your budget for a consultant to come in and go over, help you go over the business. You need to have monies in there for a consultant to come in and do strategic planning. So all of these things, when you're thinking about year end strategies, think about it. Okay, I don't have it this year, but I'm listening to what Ty and Tracy are saying, and I realize, oh wow, there's some gaps, right? Some
mhm.
some deficits in the strategies that we have currently for getting funds. So let's employ those for the upcoming year, 2023. You know, so all right. I think that's it for me. Do you have anything else you want to say,
I
Ty?
ain't got nothing. Y'all better get it together.
All right. Until next time, guys, thank you for joining us for Mission Impact Series today. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments below because we definitely want to hear from you. Okay. Bye,
Bye, y'all.
everyone.